Welcome. What it do? What's up? However this video finds you, I hope it finds you well. And I'm back at it. I had to get back to Monster Hunter Wilds. It's got me in a way. I didn't expect it. Still, I've played a lot of betas and demos in my time, probably more than most, to be honest. See, back in the day, many moons ago, I was a third key at a GameStop. And honestly, the only real perk of the job was having like unlimited access to things like betas, demos, and being able to test games. So I played everything. Some were fire, some were forgettable, but very few ever really genuinely had me addicted, like to the point where I lost track of time, kept going back, and actually felt like I was learning something new every time I played. Like with this one, I should have checked out the beta earlier, like suggested by B, but I slept on it. Won't make that mistake again. Thankfully, I caught this beta in the extended weekend before release, and man, I'm glad I did. So I spent the whole weekend diving in, figuring out the weapons, pushing myself a little further into the mechanics, and really falling into the actual flow of the game. Now let's talk about Ray Dow, Ray Caruth, Raymond Felton, whatever that dragon thing name is. First time I saw it, I went to the fight feeling pretty confident because I had been solo and everything up to that point, like really getting into a groove, thinking, okay, I got this. Then Ray Caruth said, nah, bro, that monster ran my pockets fast, like I thought I was putting in work earlier with the little bear thing, but every attack it threw felt like a counter to whatever I was doing. Like I swung, it dodged. I rolled, it punished. I healed, it hunted me down like I owed it some money. And at that point, I realized this game ain't playing with me. So, I had to just start using all the tools that's available to me and actually learn to fight instead of just swinging mindlessly. And once I finally took down Ray Dow or Ray Do, I thought, all right, I've been humbled. I'm ready for whatever comes next. Then Arkveld walked into the final exam and I didn't study for it. Like the first weird dragon battle gave me a lesson, but Arkveld made sure I didn't forget, especially trying to go in there solo. This wasn't just another like tough monster in the game or the beta. It was a wake-up call, like a test of everything I had learned up to that point. And clearly I wasn't ready. Up until that fight, I again had been soloing everything, figuring things out on my own, getting better, feeling that natural progression that I can definitely tell that they try to put into this experience. Then Arkveld came through and made sure I knew exactly where I stood. And that's when I realized I needed to really lock in like to my weapon, number one. Up to that point, I was just kind of putting it together, whatever I felt was good as far as combos, but Arkveld forced me to learn like the actual combos. And the charge blade for me, it started out difficultly, but the weapon is insane, in this game. Learning to manage the files, swap modes, and land those like huge explosive discharges, the elemental ones, for the screen, it just tickled my brain, what I'm talking about. So when I finally got it down a little bit more, blasted through Arkveld mid-charge, that was one of the most satisfying feelings I'd had in quite some time, especially again for a beta experience. Then there's the longsword. Definitely practicing with that, but it's got the anime feel, pure flow state gaming, right? Something that is rare to come across nowadays, especially that's not for an exorbitant price. But the way you build your spirit gauge, time counters, chain together those like cinematic slashes, is just like it clicked for me a little bit. So when I finally dodged at the last second and landed a perfect counter for the first time, it felt like, again, it was like an anime fight with monsters and shit like that. So that was pretty dope. Like, and at that moment in good games, that's when you realize, you're not just playing Monster Hunter, that you're learning it. So when Arkveld showed up again, I wasn't walking in the same way. Like this time I had a real weapon choice. I had a better strategy with, not trying to solo simply. And for the first time, I really understood what makes this game special to me. A flagship monster like this isn't just some boss to gateway or gatekeep progression. It's a masterclass in game design. It tests everything you've learned so far and pushes you to grow. And this time I wasn't alone. The fight forced me to truly rely on the team. I had to trust my squad, play my role, and react to what was happening in real time in front of me. And when we finally landed the last hit, that was a moment, not gonna lie. And for me, that's the kind of feeling that makes a game go from good to unforgettable. Now, I gotta be real. I understand why this game isn't gonna be for everybody and isn't for everybody. Monster Hunter is not an easy series to get into. The weapons take time, the monsters hit hard, and if the loop doesn't click for you, it can feel frustrating instead of rewarding. So I've been on both sides of that. I remember trying Monster Hunter World years ago and bouncing off of it because I didn't have the right group or the patience to learn it. That's why I don't blame anyone if they try this game and it just doesn't work for them. But if it does click, I think it's gonna be something special. Now let's quickly talk about the other side of gaming that I always gotta touch on because it's in my annual gaming. And again, look at NBA 2K25, a game built around pay-to-win mechanics, a toxic PvP experience instead of rewarding skill and teamwork. It's about who spent the most money. Monster Hunter Wilds, the complete opposite could it be? You know what I mean? Like, it's a pure PvE challenge, no shortcuts, no cash grab mechanics, just skill, teamwork, and progression. 2K's community feels frustrating and hostile because the game is designed to exploit players, but a game like Monster Hunter Wilds, you know, it could build camaraderie. You struggle together, you learn together, and you succeed together. Shit, the more I think about it, the more I realize this game, or games like this, might actually be a healthier gaming experience for me right now. For too long, I've been playing games that frustrate me more than fulfill me. But a game like Monster Hunter Wilds is pure challenge, pure satisfaction. Seems like gonna be a pure community, including newbies like myself, you know, showing up this last weekend for the beta. And I already kind of am gonna see how I miss it and can't wait for the actual full release. I think that's part of what made this experience special. It wasn't just about like winning or getting better. It was about just seeing the community I was able to play with and being introduced to that, having the conversations, the moments that were shared there, and the way the game naturally builds those connections through challenge. And like, to me, that's what gaming should be at the end of the day. That's why first day I'm all in on this. I wasn't expecting it, but day one purchase, no question. And I think if you're looking for something that respects your time, challenges you, and rewards real teamwork, this could be it. With that said, peace out, stay safe, and let's keep hunting. And all that good shit. You know what I'm talking about? Please feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. Y'all stay safe out here.